Gold Reef City here in Johannesburg. Tower of Terror, one of the biggest bucket list coasters I'll ever ride. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Suddenly the lap bars pop up and the ride attendants start going, no, 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 everyone. A ride operator was saying, you must have a child with each adult. And we were like, oh no. Had to persuade him to let me on. It worked in the end. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So it's been a good few weeks since I've last uploaded here on YouTube. And that is because I've been over in sunny South Africa. That's right, literally on Boxing Day, I caught a flight over here to meet up with my girlfriend Jess and her family, who are South African. And yeah, today, on the final day of our trip, Jess has brought me to South Africa's biggest theme park, Gold Reef City. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here today. Obviously, it's a brand new park for me. I've never even been to Africa before, so very excited for today. Jess has been here so many times.
This is where I grew up.
She grew up at this theme park. This is her version of Fort Park, basically, for me. So she's going to be our little tour guide today. There's some really, really unique rides here, such as Tower of Terror, the world's most intense roller coaster, as well as Anaconda, which is a very interesting and unique inverted ride. I'll explain that a little bit later. But to start off with, we've just got our tickets. This was actually a birthday present for me, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so thank you very much.
Birthday present.
How much was this ticket? It's obviously in the UK, if you walk up on the day, you're expecting to pay about £60 nowadays. But how much is a ticket into Gold Reef, Jeff?
So one ticket is 250 rand. That's about £10 a little
£10 for a whole day theme park ticket. How crazy is that? The weather is absolutely beautiful at the moment. It's nearly, what, 30 degrees?
Yeah, it's
in
hot.
January. Normally I'd be at home absolutely freezing. But yeah, we're gonna have an entire day here at Gold Reef City. Gonna be getting on all the rides and just checking the place out. So yeah, let's go and head in to Gold Reef City here in Johannesburg. So with this place being called Gold Reef City, the reason for that is because it was actually a working gold mine. Like the gold rush hit this area, I believe, in the late 1800s. And yeah, essentially this authentic gold mine was turned into a theme park. Is that right, Jess?
Yeah.
I've done my research, but Jess is, as I said, our expert. And one of the major rides here, as I said, is Tower of Terror. And it is right in front of me right now. We've headed straight here because I've been panicking for months now that it won't be open, because this ride has had a lot of problems over the years. But
I've only been on it once in my entire life.
that says it all really, doesn't it? Jess has been here countless times, she's been on it once. But it's behind me and it is open, guys. So we've headed straight here in the morning to go on this ride, which is actually a world record holder for having the most intense moment of G-force on any roller coaster in the world. That's right. Essentially, what the ride does is it goes to the top of this authentic kind of, I don't know what you call it, gold structure.
I don't know what it is. They put the train down.
They would have used it to obviously mine gold, but essentially you get an elevator to the top, and then you pretty much do what Oblivion does at Alton Towers. You go straight down this track. But the interesting thing about this ride is that you're essentially sitting in a very small car, the likes of what you'd ride Saw the Ride on. I'm waiting for one to go up, but it doesn't seem to be. Slow operations this morning. Yeah, and you hit 6.5 Gs at the bottom of this drop, which is obviously somewhere underground.
Yeah,
but
it goes into the actual mine.
It goes into the actual gold mine that they would have been. Here he goes. We got one coming out now. But yeah, another interesting thing about this ride is that no one really knows who made this ride. Like over in the UK, you've got B&M, Intamin, Vekoma, all of those companies. No one truly knows which company manufactured this. There are a lot of rumors that a company called Giovanola made it, but they never actually like owned up to building it. And here it is, it's about to go up this massive like mining shaft. Oh my god, it looks a bit rickety, Jess.
It's a little bit rough.
Here we go. I believe it used to have a chain lift hill as well. but they got rid of that and put in this elevator. I also believe they kind of profiled the drop a bit more, so I don't think it's now as intense as it once was, but it's still a very impressive ride. I'm gonna wait for it to drop and then we'll head on. Oh my god, right, let's go and ride our first ride here at Gold Reef City, Tower of Terror. So there we go, I've just had my first ever ride on Tower of Terror there. My first ever ride here in South Africa. Did you enjoy that, Jess? Your second ride on that?
Yeah, but it's still not my favourite. I literally feel like someone needs to come and like take my neck and click it now, because I just bobbled the whole way down.
So first of all, obviously we joined the queue here and it literally just goes over the track and then towards the station. However, they are running us on a one train operation, so the queue wasn't moving the fastest. We got to literally just that point about there where the guy with the pink bag is standing, and so we were still had quite a while to queue, about 20 minutes or so I'd say.
Yeah.
And suddenly the whole queue started turning around and going any twos, and we were quite far back, so we were like, well, yeah,
We are at 2.
there were no twos in front of us.
us.
So we essentially got fast tracked up. Unfortunately, we didn't sit next to each other.
No.
There was a seat in front and behind. Jess was kind enough to let me get a front row. And yeah, we've just been on it. As we were going up that elevator, I was sat there thinking, oh my god, we're about to ride this. It's literally been a bucket list coaster of mine for so many years. And as we were going up, I was thinking, this could be a top 10 coaster. You obviously get to the top, as this train is doing now. And it's very slow up there, isn't it?
You sit up there for a while,
Very
you don't know
slow.
where you're going to go.
The elevator takes you like most of the way, and then it slowly does the rest. And then once the track lines up, you still don't drop. It's kind of like Oblivion used to be, where it slowly just edges forward. I think this one's about to drop now. And then yeah, you eventually, once it moves forward, still waiting for it, as you can see, it takes a while. You then go down this vertical drop, which has a kind of twist in it. Like, it doesn't just go straight down like Oblivion. There it goes. As you can see, it kind of twists towards us. But it's definitely a vertical drop, isn't it?
It like tightened on me as
Yeah.
well, because it had like cushiony things, so it's just like completely tightened and I was stuck.
And then yeah, you obviously go into this little hut thing right under the ground here, which is where you do feel the G-force. Obviously, I don't think it's as intense as it used to be, but it's certainly still intense. You feel the G's at the bottom of that drop, and then you come out at the other end, just like Oblivion in the UK, and then you come back round into the station. But yeah, that is a massive ride for me to tick off. I'm so glad we managed to get on it. And that's our first ride of the day. I wouldn't say it is a top 10 coaster. I think I was just terrified because I haven't been on a coaster in months. So going up there, I was like, oh God, I'm not ready for this drop. But yeah, I'm very happy I've done it. I don't think I can call it a top 10 coaster, but it's definitely one of the biggest bucket list coasters I'll ever ride. Tower of Terror here in Gold Reef City, ticked off. Where next, Jess?
I don't know.
Don't know. That was the main one for me, so I'm happy now. I'm gonna follow Jess. She can take me wherever she wants to. So I've just been on my second ride of the day there. I need some help pronouncing this one from Jess. What was it called?
It's called the Shongololo.
And there is a reason for that. What is that in South Africa?
So here in South Africa we have these worms. They kind of look like millipedes, but a lot bigger and fatter. And then when you touch them, they get scared and like curl into the ball.
So there you go. And
curling.
that's obviously what this ride is named after. But yeah, obviously over here in Gold Reef, I have to get on every roller coaster here because it's a brand new theme park for me. I have to do all the rides to add them to my cred count, and it wasn't looking good. We got to the station and the ride operator was saying, you must have a child with each adult. And we were like, oh no. And I love the South Africans, they're very funny. I persuaded him, I was saying, please sir, please. I'm from England, I need to ride every roller coaster in the world, is what I kept saying. And he was like, oh, I don't know. I said, please, and he said, you can sit at the back. So luckily, he let me sit at the back. Unfortunately, Jess didn't get a ride. You probably did it when you were a child, right?
Yeah, I used to come with my cousin and do it,
Oh,
so
so
I had a kid.
you were allowed. But Jess filmed me off-ride, which is why there's some probably very funny footage of me on my own at the back of a kiddie coaster in South Africa. But we got on it for the cred count, that's all that matters. I was very worried we weren't going to get it. But yeah, where next, Jess? We've obviously done 2 rides now. We kind of ticked off the kiddie area, done Tower of Terror. Now for the likes of Golden Loop, which you can see off in the distance over there.
My favourite ride.
Your favourite ride here, and obviously Anaconda as well. So our next ride is the Josie Express. Jess has got a fun fact about this one.
It's called the Josie Express because Josie is slang for Johannesburg.
There we go. Josie is slang for the city in which this theme park is, Johannesburg. Yeah, this looks like a fun little ride. We were going to head on to Golden Loop, but the queue was massive. Fun fact from me about this ride is it actually used to be located in Japan before it was moved here in 1989 and now operates as Josie Express. Yeah, it's about 80 feet tall. So yeah, excited to get on it. You excited?
Brace yourself at the end.
Apparently there's some very sharp brakes. So we'll see how they are on this ride. Let's go. Oh my god. So we've just had a ride there on Josie Express. I think whilst queuing up, the main thing that I noticed about this ride was just how much of a roar it has. In fact, the coaster's going round now, so as we give our review, you'll probably hear just how loud it is. But yeah, whilst I was queuing up, I was saying to Jess, this actually looks really good. Like, it's a nice and tall ride. I like the kind of clean flooring of it all. It looks good off-ride. And I was saying it looks really smooth, and Jess was keeping quiet.
You know what? It never used to be this bad,
no,
to be fair. It was a lot better.
Because yeah, on that ride, even going up the lift hill, I said to Jess, this isn't going to be smooth, is it? We go down the first drop and I say, yep, not smooth at all. But yeah, it's just about to drop, so you'll hear just how loud it is. But one really interesting thing, as we were riding this, I was actually thinking, there we go, listen to that! That roar, it's got a proper like B&M coaster roar. I literally feel like I'm at Alton Towers, stood outside of Nemesis. But yeah, obviously it is quite an old coaster, as I say, it used to be in Japan, so it is completely understandable that it isn't buttery smooth, it is a little bit rough. But one really interesting thing is whilst I was riding this, obviously a lot of you guys watching this will probably know me through Fort Park, and obviously Fort Park hopefully getting a brand new roller coaster within the next few years, the tallest in the UK. And as I was riding this, I was thinking, this is actually low-key the exact same kind of layout as the Fort coaster. You go down, you come back on yourself, then back again, you do a turnaround, come back, and then you go back again. Like this little bit of track here, just over there, is where like the splashdown for the Fort coaster would be, and then you do a turnaround back into the station. Like obviously Fort Park is a modern coaster, so it's going to be smooth, it's going to be a lot taller, but the kind of general layout of that way, this way, that way, this way, then back round into a turnaround is the same. And I have to say, whilst the Fort coaster looks short, this didn't feel too short, did it?
No, it was pretty long.
I don't know, I'm just completely rambling at this point, but yeah, it's just really interesting that this vague kind of layout is the same. And if anything, this random coaster in South Africa has given me a bit of hope for Fort Park's new coaster, because obviously the main thing is that it looks short, but I'm excited for it regardless. Another interesting thing that we spotted was the operations here. What happened, Jess?
The operator herself was not in the operating booth.
No.
She's standing on the platform scrolling through her phone.
Literally, when the ride went round, they were just on their phone, which is fair enough. That's obviously the rules here, but you would never get that in the UK and like America. But yeah, very funny. And now we've got this nice little gift shop. Gonna have to check out all of this merch later on in the day. They got some nice stuff actually. But yeah, very funny. They were just sat there scrolling their phones. Obviously, ride operations.
Made everything so much slower.
It did make things a bit slower.
It was one train. She was just scrolling instead of helping everyone else on.
Yeah, very funny. But yeah, it was a good ride nonetheless. I don't know if I'll be rushing back to it, but it's another one for the credit count. So we've just stopped off for a little snack, some chip and dip, and Jess is treating me to a traditional South African snack. Do you want to show the camera, Jess?
My hands are full of it.
Some biltong. Now, before I met Jess, I hadn't even heard of biltong, but over the past few years, it's become one of my favourite snacks, and I've eaten very little of anything else here in South Africa the past few weeks. And yeah, we're just having some of it. Essentially, Jess was just telling me, what is it?
It's dried meat. So you put it in some spices and some vinegar and olive oil and I don't know the exact recipe. And then you put it in this machine that's got an extractor fan and it just sucks all the air out.
It's not cooked, it's just dried to the... So we have just had a ride on the Golden Loop there, just behind me. Oh my god, Jess. That was one of the craziest ride experiences I have ever had. Boy, do we have a story. So essentially, we get onto the train. There's a lot of nervous people, it seemed. Like the guy behind us was like, oh, can I please get off? And they were like, I'm sorry, the restraints are down. Like
yeah, the guy in front of us as well was going, is it actually clicked in? And the ride host was going, I don't know, you tell me.
As I said, the South Africans are very funny. They were playing along with it all. All the restraints are locked. They've checked all the bars. And there's like a loud mechanism that goes off every time a train launches. I don't know if it's like the catch car getting into place or whatever. You know, like on Stealth at Fort Park, there's that noise before it launches. So that happens, and then like a siren goes off, and then it launches. However, we heard this like noise, and suddenly the lap bars pop up, and the ride attendants start going, no, 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 everyone. And suddenly there are screams from people in the station as they dramatically try and like get off a train. They're like diving to the side of the train to try and escape it because they think it's going to launch. Jess is like starting to stand up confused.
I stood up, I was like, what the hell is going on?
But there were screams. I literally felt like I was in a Final Destination film. There were screams coming from this roller coaster as people were throwing themselves off of the train.
I'm crying.
And the ride attendants were, no, everyone off. I know my roller coaster, so I was confused if anything. I was like, surely they're not going to launch this. I stayed in my seat and I just pulled my lap bar back down. It locked, thankfully. But like, everyone, I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
The ride attendants were creasing.
And then, yeah, after a few moments of panic, everyone's like sitting on the floor of the station. We look over and they are creasing. They are just laughing to each other. And then they're just like that, get back on, we'll actually say. Oh my goodness. I knew. I've seen some sketchy things in South Africa, like some of the ride operations here.
I didn't question it.
I've never experienced anything like that. Anyway, we then launched, had the actual ride, and obviously come back into the station. Oh my goodness, what a story. What are we telling that for years to come? Oh, but yeah, the ride itself was really fun. Probably my favourite ride of the day. It was always Jess's favourite ride here. It's actually a Schwarzkopf Coaster. It used to be located over at Carowinds, which is a very famous theme park over in America, North Carolina. It's where like Fury 325 is nowadays. It's one of the biggest parks in America, I'd say. And yeah, that used to be there as White Lightning. However, it got moved here in 1989 and is now the Golden Loop. I can't. They wouldn't operate it like that in America, I'll tell you that right now. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that. But yeah, next up we're going to head over to Anaconda, the inverted coaster here at the park. But oh boy, we could be in for anything. Like, wow. I said to Jess just after it happened that if that was on camera, either if I was filming or if there was some kind of CCTV, that would be like one of those viral clips you see on Facebook where like ride attendants scare ride, like I never thought I'd experience that in my life. There were kids crying. They queued up, they'd got on it, and then because of this, they didn't ride it. They were in tears. I wish that was filmed because that's a story I'll tell for many years to come. So we very much just caught a lucky break there because all day Anaconda, the inverted coaster here, has been down. When we came over here, it was testing with empty trains and it was just kept sending them in there, Jess.
It didn't even stop, they just went straight through.
It was consistent, so we were like, we're going to hold out, we're going to join because there was a bit of a queue that was just forming where obviously they weren't opening the entrance, but a queue had started. So we did that, it opened, and we got on the Anaconda. Look at this beautiful ride. And I have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'll explain why very shortly. But yeah, did you enjoy that, Jess?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was going to be really rough because we were going up the hill and I was like, oh no. But it was really smooth.
Yeah, this is actually a very, very unique and rare ride because looking at the track, as you can see, it looks like a B&M inverted coaster. But it's not. It's actually one of only 3 roller coasters made by a Swiss company called Gia Venola. I hope I pronounced that right. But essentially they used to work with the likes of Intamin and B&M, but they kind of split off and made their own independent company, and they only made 3 roller coasters in the world, and this is their only inverted one. So yeah, it's a super, super unique roller coaster, which is why I'm so glad that we were able to get on it and they actually opened. As I said, Tower of Terror is rumoured to have also been built by Gia Venola, but that was never confirmed, but this one 100% was. The layout is actually very similar to obviously Nemesis Inferno at my home park, Fort Park. You start with a big drop, it's actually a bit taller than Inferno I think. You then do a loop into a 0G roll, however that's when it gets different because you then go into another vertical loop before then doing a nice big helix around the rock and then into this kind of ending ride section. But yeah, I'd definitely say it's one of, if not the best inverted coaster I've done. I think I still prefer Black Mamba to it, but no, it's really good. Lots of G-forces. My legs were going tingly. I think Jess said she blacked out at one point.
I did at the very beginning. I was like, that's pathetic.
But no, really, really good ride. I'm so glad we got to go on it. So we've just spent some time down in Flat Ride City. That's right, there's an area of the park that just seems to have loads and loads of flat rides. So we went on a ride called Miner's Revenge. It's essentially like Ramesis and Ripsaw used to be in the UK. Absolutely soaked. However, on a day like today, I'm completely fine with it. It cooled me down, if anything. And yeah, we did a few of the other smaller rides. Some of Jess's favourite rides, in fact. I feel like they were her childhood rides that she always used to like to get on. Yeah. And we've got some more food. We've also got a sparberry drink. I feel like I haven't had one of these this trip yet, have I?
I don't think you have, no.
So let's give this a try. It's so fizzy over here. Jess was telling me that like the sugar taxes just aren't really a thing over here, so everything is just so sweet.
Sugar in the UK,
and
I need
full of sugar. Like everything is so sweet. But yeah, we're just having a little sit down before we head on to our next ride. we're keeping an eye out because earlier on when we walked through this area, there was actually just peacocks. And Jess is telling me that peacocks can just roam this park. And she had a bit of a traumatic experience when she was a kid. She got chased and bitten. So we're keeping an eye out for the peacocks. I think they're very cute and it's very funny that they're just roaming around. But Jess is a little bit more on edge. Oh dear, I'll let you know if one comes up behind you. Oh my god. Whoa. So we haven't actually found any peacocks. Instead, we've come across a cat. He's just wandering about and he
really likes you.
He seems to like me. Hello.
Oh, he's done.
All done now.
All done now. You filmed me, that's it.
So that brings us to the end of our day here at Gold Reef City, right where we started off today's vlog. Unfortunately, all of the gift shops seem to be closed on our way out, which is a shame because we genuinely
I was so excited to buy stuff.
You wanted to buy something?
Yeah.
But hey ho, it seems like this park really are punctual on their closing time. Like it's just gone like 6 and everything in the park is closed now, so everyone's just leaving. But yeah, I've had an absolutely brilliant day. The highlight for me, I think, was Anaconda. Really like that ride. As I said, it's one of the best inverted coasters I've ever done. It was such a rare ride to get on. But I'm just so thankful we managed to get on all of the individual coasters here. That's another 6 roller coasters to add to my cred count. And yes, it must have been nice for you to get back as well, Jess.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done all those rides. I missed the Golden Loop.
Yeah, it's been, oh my god, I forgot what happened on the Golden Loop. To be fair, that was probably my highlight. Never have I ever experienced anything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for showing me around today, Jess. It's been wonderful. And yeah, that's my first ever theme park in Africa ticked off. I don't even know if there's...
I don't think there's any others. I think that's it.
There's got to be a few more I'll be able to find. But yeah, that is the end of our day here at Gold Reef City. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I head to loads of theme parks around the world and film vlogs just like this one. And yeah, otherwise, thank you all very much for watching. My name's TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.
Yeah, my team front row when we jump on a train. Got the merch on, reppin' SLK. Island flex when I step through the gate. Come true fresh with the style on flames. Dripped out, now I'm vibing. Link with the boys, jump straight to the island. Silkstone flex on a wave like tidal. Style so crazy, I hit it in asylum. Brand new style, all summer all flex. Brand new vibe, got them all impressed. That's I plus you on the island. Reppin' that SLK STN.